Okay, Bula everybody, how are you again? This is Fred coming to you live from Nandi, Fiji. Hope you're all well this afternoon. Pleasure to share with you some awesome ideas about how to get free marketing training starting today without having to spend any money. So that's my topic for today. I thought I'd share this because there's a lot of people out there right now that are, taking the bold step and hustling with whatever business that they've got going on, whether it's from a little canteen at home to, opening up a shop with, an eatery. There's a lot of guys that are popping down to Vote City and selling their wares from there. And of course, there's quite a few small businesses that are also, struggling at this time. And thought I'd just share with us some 4 tips on how to get free marketing training starting today, starting right now, without having to spend any money. So I'll be quoting just a couple of tips from entrepreneur.com, and then I'll share the last point with my experience and how I'm seeing results, and I'd like to share those tips with you as well. So, how to get free marketing training starting today without having to spend any money. All right, here goes. So from entrepreneur.com, do partnered getaways. So for some of you guys that have created products over the last few weeks and so forth, this is a pretty good tip because you can certainly partner up or team up with other brands out there, bigger brands, or any sort of brand that kind of relates to your product or service, and you should be able to generate, some contests like giveaways, raffles, or something of that sort. That should help you, because those other brands would have already established themselves a little bit. So it would be really cool for you to be able to find those sort of partnerships. So do partnered getaways. Second one is to foster user-generated content. So foster user-generated content. So basically, for your customers that you have already, if you have like Facebook pages where you've opened up, give your customers let them testify, or let them take pictures of the product that you've sold them and get them to post it on your page. That'll certainly create a little bit of interest. That'll certainly create some engagement, and you let your users build up your content, and that's a pretty cool way to leverage off how people how they're benefiting from your product at home. I don't mind making mention here of some boys that have started theirs, Pipe Dreams. That's a pretty neat product to have. For those of us that have choosy landlords or not much yard, you could certainly use that. And so for you guys, you could easily get your customers to take photos of where they've put their stuff. Like hanging their things, or and of course to show the vegetables or whatever that's growing in them, and even to the point where they've now putting it on the table, so to speak. So foster user-generated content. That's pretty powerful. The third point is to promote customer referrals. Now this is a pretty cool one as well, to promote customer referrals. So you could incentivize your customers in whatever way you feel is whatever way whatever way you can do, like with your product, or your service, like to incentivize them, whether it be, a few dollars off your next purchase, or, a discount, which is the same thing, I guess. But only you can find the ways in which you could incentivize your customers so that they could refer their friends and family across to your product. The last one is, of course, is to use social media. This is a really big one, especially in the times that we are in right now, to be able to use social media to your advantage. Guys, our phones is probably one of the most powerful tools that has ever been created. Jay-Z said it best. He said like this. He said it like this: I am not a businessman. I am the business man. And that's a pretty powerful statement, because one thing he realized, and one thing a lot of celebrities, a lot of wealthy people, because they are wealthy just because of this, is because they realize that they are the product. So once you realize that you are the product, because people will buy you first rather than buy the product. You have to really understand that you are the business. Your product is not the business. You are the business. And once people start to get to know you, they start to like you, eventually they're going to start having a look at what you have to offer, because you've, of course, first of all, kind of made that connection with them, or they've made that connection with you. So just a couple of points on going on social media. Is to create posts, and I noticed a lot of you guys did very well. I went to Vote City the other day, and I saw a lot of the guys that were there, of course. They were also posting as well. Hi, Senia. How are you? Hold on a second. So, do posts, guys. It's a really cool way, and it's totally free. It really lets a lot of your network know that the kind of products or services that you offer. So create posts, especially with pictures. I'll give you a bit of a tip. On Facebook, one thing they absolutely love is the human face. Hi, Fenton. How are you, bro? On Facebook, one thing they love, and especially Instagram, they love the human face. Like whenever their algorithms spot a human face, well, first of all, your people are going to see you, and they'll automatically like you. They'll like, or they'll make a comment and stuff like that. And that's one thing that Facebook has realized, because it creates a bit of attraction, it creates interest, and then it starts creating engagement. Because that's all they want. They just want you to be, stuck on Facebook. While most of us are scrolling through, the rest of you guys are actually, putting your products and services out there. So, in terms of creating videos, guys, creating posts, the next level, I guess, would be to create videos. You don't have to jump on like me, but that's probably the next level. But because it just depends on what kind of product or services you're selling. So when you do have the courage to pop on those videos, you can actually film your product, or maybe explain a bit about your service. But let's go back to showcasing your product. So you could very easily go online and just film your product, or even film how you make your product. Like, for example, if you're, cooking, or if you're baking, have you noticed that most of the top restaurants, well, I wouldn't say that, but some restaurants, you notice that when you walk into it, they usually have that big glass where you can actually see the people cooking. When you see someone cooking, it just starts creating all those, juices in your mouth, and you start salivating, and so that's a pretty cool way to, to kind of create that interest from your guests. So creating videos about your product, and that's pretty cool. Now the next one is, of course, is to create videos about yourself. Now that one is pretty cool because just in line with how a lot of marketing is done online these days, where they realize that they are the product. So you have to realize that you are the product. And once people get to know you, like you, trust you, then they start having a look at what you have to offer. But it's really important for you to be able to come out. Now, I get it. Most of us, we don't even want to put our hand up, or we don't even want to, say anything, and that's in a group setting. Hi, Jack, how are you? Bullockers, how are you, Thomas? I totally get it. And, forget about trying to grab the mic and saying something, or getting on stage, public speaking. I know that can be really daunting. Guys, I'll just do a small testimony. I used to suffer, and I still do. I wouldn't call it suffering, but I have a bit of a speech impediment, so to speak. It's not really an impediment of any sort, but it's just sometimes when I get so excited and when I get ahead of myself, if I have to think about Willikers, if I have to think about what I have to say, I usually stutter. But I grew up with this huge stuttering problem. And once I was able to identify what it was that was stopping me from, saying what I wanted to say, and then I was able to fix it. Now, you may not have that problem, but you may have that whole fear of, just being seen or being known, especially on something like this. But I'll tell you something, guys, when it comes to videos like this, you are not online like this to kind of convince everybody. A lot of people will go through my videos and they'll just scroll right through because the message is not for them. Hi Eric, how are you, brother? The message is not for them. You have to understand that when you start putting out yourself, you will only attract the people that are interested in you. And like I said in one of my earlier videos, don't be afraid to come on and if you just introduce yourself and let people get to know you. Now, I'm talking to those that, of course, that have products or services to sell. Because once people get to, I tell you, you do it once, and you're gonna. A lot of people are doing it now, with the push-ups, and drinking challenges, and all sorts of challenges. So don't be afraid to pop on there. You're gonna be just one of the many faces. You're going to be just one of the many videos out there. Don't be afraid to do that, because that's certainly an awesome way and a really, really quick way to gather people's attention. So the next step is to go live. Now that's pretty cool. Going live can be, hi Kunal, how are you? Going live, depending on the type of product or service you sell, of course, Facebook absolutely loves live. It loves, that was just the best breakthrough because it's able to capture people's attention. And don't worry too much about the people that pop through, although it's really nice to do shout outs. But always remember this, that the sale is always in the replay. So with those few words, guys, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. And thank you for listening to my tips on how to get free marketing training starting today without having to spend any money at all. So I hope you guys have a fantastic afternoon. For those of you guys that have businesses or started small businesses right from home, whether you're cooking, selling, making stuff, I totally salute you guys. I'm so proud of you guys stepping out in faith during a time like this. This is the time that really shows your mettle. And for everyone out there who's a customer, or thank you so much for your support. Support the local guys that out there, trying to make it happen for their families, and we really appreciate, because without customers, without people who find value in our products, it can be a little bit tough on on the side of the entrepreneurs. But otherwise, hey Rob, how are you, brother? But otherwise, guys, have a fantastic afternoon and look forward to seeing you on the next videos. Cheers.